And I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you the question as soon as you know the answer. I don't want you to say the answer out loud. I just want you to sit back down. Once you know the answer, like, okay, I get it. So I'm going to ask you a question. Once you get the answer, or you saying, yeah, okay, then just sit back down, okay? The question is, are you here? Once you have to say it out loud. Once you get it, and you know where you're at, you're here. Are you in the moment? That's easy, see? Everybody's like, okay, I'm good. Because statistically, the odds say that I've lost some of you already. Harvard did a study and they showed that 47% of the time, we are not where we are. That we are not where we are. 47% of the time. That's almost half the time. So if you're sitting down here for, let's say, over the next 30 minutes, 35 minutes, about 16 to 17 of those minutes, your mind is going to go somewhere else. It's going to go somewhere else. But if you're here, you're saying, I'm here. I want to welcome you for being right here with us. Thank you. I say this because for so long, listen, so many times something just happens. I don't know what it is. It just happens. Some of us are going to get a text message and then we're going to start, boom, get away right away. Some of you are going to get a notification and you're going to like, oh, let me go see what's happening right there. Some of you are going to post something about sober right now saying, I'm at Sober Church, welcome, boom. And then someone's going to like it and you're going to say, oh, let me see who's liking it. And so you're going to post about here while not even being here. That makes sense? Because your mind goes somewhere else. They say that 47% of the time we go somewhere else. You're going to initiate a text message in the middle of this message. And if you're like me, you're probably already thinking it. I've already thought it 3 times since sitting back there when the service started. What am I going to eat for lunch? Right? I've already thought about 3 times. Right? Because I'm hungry. And so your mind begins to go, and then you start thinking, oh, I want to go here. Man, we haven't been there. Let's go there. Or I'm going to ask them. And your mind goes. And your mind moves. Some of us are following, you're following somebody on Instagram. They post something, and it's someone you like or someone you know or someone you've been following. Oh, I wonder what they said. And you just leave instantly. And this just happens. Some of us start thinking about bills, problems, and even the things that we can listen. The things that are not even going to happen today. It's stuff that's still going to, something that's coming up on Thursday or even next week, and your mind is thinking about it right now, and you're not here with us. So I titled this message, Be in the Moment. Be in the moment. If I asked you this question and said, who do you strive to live like? Who do you want to live like? Some of us would say, I want to be like my dad. My dad's very respectable. He was honorable. I want to be like my mom. She was so generous and nice. I want to be like my coach, man. He was just hard-nosed all the way, all in. Seemed like everything he did, he just could never fail. I'm just excited. And you all have somebody. And then, of course, most of us, since we're in church, we would say, well, come on, Pastor, I want to be like Jesus, right? Come on, we can give the holy answer here. Like, I want to be the spiritual. I want to be like Jesus, Pastor. That's what I want to be. I want to be like Jesus. And we do. Listen, most of us here strive to be good people. And when you come to church here, you hear something and it stirs you, moves you. You think, man, I want to live like Jesus. I really do. And I can be honest and tell you, I want to be like him. I want to do my very best to be like him. In John 14, 1 through 7, John's writing, he says, and Jesus says, do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. And if this were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I'm going. And Thomas said, Lord, we don't even know where you're going, so how can we even know the way? And then Jesus answered and said, I am the way, and I am the truth, and I am the life. And this is quoted Countless times. I don't think I've ever done a funeral where I've not quoted this scripture here, this passage, talking about Jesus being, he's saying, I'm going to heaven, I'm making a place for you. And so we encourage people. And we like to quote this scripture, and most of the time when we quote this scripture, we'll say there at the very end, we like this fact that Jesus says, I am the way, I am the truth, and the life. And we jump on it as pastors. This is our go-to. He is the life. You want to live a real life, you got to be in Jesus. And you want to know the truth, you got to know the truth, right? And then we just kind of, after we say a bunch about life and we say a bunch about the truth, then I'll say, well, he's the only way. And he is the only way. He is the only way to God. He is the bridge that was built. The cross that he paid, the price that he paid, he is the only way there. That is true. And we say that in the mindset of directions. This is how I get there. How do I get to heaven? Jesus. And we say he is the way, only referring to this is the direction you have to take. You want to know how to go? Look it up on Google Map. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. You go, you get there through Jesus. How do I get to heaven? Jesus. And we look at it that way through direction. But what if we focus just a little bit more and asked, when he said, I am the way, what way did he live? What if we decided that we're not just going to follow Jesus because he is the way to heaven, but we're going to follow Jesus because he is the way to live? How did he live? How did he do things? What did he do? What did he say? How did he walk? How did he interact with people? How was it that his life was so different from everybody else around him? Not because he was a direction, yes, but there was a way, there was a lifestyle that he was doing that caused others to gravitate to who he was. I believe that living the way Jesus lived is a direct reflection of the truth that Jesus taught. So here's my question. Of all the three, this is the main question. What if the greatest enemy to the life you want most is the very life that you are living right now? What if the greatest enemy to the life that you want the most? I want to be free. I want to be excited. I want to be happy. I want to have a great marriage. I want to have great kids. I want to be respected. I want to be honored. I want to know his word. What if the life you want most, the enemy to that, is the actual life you're living right now? What are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying that there is a way, there is a truth, there is a life that goes this way. But we run so far the opposite direction by doing so many other things that we fail to just slow down and look at the way he actually lived. Jesus was always in the moment. No matter what that moment was, he was always in the moment. We're going to look at a few stories of Jesus and see the way he lived. Not just because he was the way, but the way he lived. And hopefully we pull out of these examples a life that we can actually live. In Luke 18, starting with verse 35, it says, as he drew near to Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging. And hearing the crowd going on, he inquired that what this meant. They told him, Jesus of Nazareth is passing by. And he cried, this blind man's crying now, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. And those who were in front rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stopped and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he came near him, he asked him, what do you want me to do for you? He said, Lord, let me recover my sight. And Jesus said to him, recover your sight. Your faith has made you well. And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him, glorifying God. And all the people were there saying, give praise to God. So what's happening here is Jesus walking inside to Jericho, and this blind man is there, and he's saying, hey, what's the ruckus about? Because he could hear motion, he could hear people coming. This doesn't sound like one or two people coming in, and there's something. What's happening is, it's Jesus, the son of David. He says, oh, Son of David, have mercy on me. And the scripture says that the people in front of him said, hey, calm down, bro. Calm down. Jesus is coming. Hey, calm down. And it doesn't tell us this, but one of the things that I want to say, or that I have a strong conviction about, is Jesus didn't walk and the guys just all fought while they were there. There was moments now where they were like, hey, we got to protect Jesus. And so these guys were surrounding him. So when it says the guys in front, I want to say that was probably Peter and John and James. Yo, hey, calm down, man. Jesus is coming through. Quit screaming and yelling. You're making a scene. This is so like us. When I say us, I'll just say it's so like me. That we look at people's lives and people that are in need, and people that are suffering, and people that are hurting, and we have the answer. I have Jesus with me. I'm like, man, I just need some help. Man, is there anything you can do for me? Oh, hey, I'm praying for you. And we just move right along. Right? I know none of y'all do it. I'm just saying that's what I do. Or we see somebody and they're sitting outside in the corner and they got the big sign, and you're just, if you're like me, I'm looking at the sign, and I like to see the ones that are funny and the ones that are different, and if he can make me laugh, I just might pull over and give him something. And most of the time I don't. And I think to myself for a second, I got Jesus. Hey, pipe down, bro. Calm down. There's other cars coming. They'll give you something. I'm not saying that every moment we have to do is stop. What I'm telling you is, Jesus is walking in this scene, and a blind man is begging because he just wants to see. Listen, what I'm saying is this. There are blind people all around you, and they want to see what you see. They want to know this Jesus you know. They don't know how to say it, though, because they're blind. So he's just screaming and wailing out, Son of David, have mercy on me. Just have mercy on me. Look, bro, I'm dying. I see that you're going to church now. I see that everything's going good in your life. I see that you're not living where I'm living anymore. I bumped into a guy the other night sitting there talking to him, and when I told him, he said, man, how you doing, man? Are you still doing stairs? I said, I do a little bit of stairs. I said, but I started a church. And then he went on to say a few cuss words. There's no blah, blah, blah way that you started a church. I said, yeah, I did. And he's sitting there talking. All of a sudden now we're having a conversation. We're talking about life and everything. And he's like, man, I'm sorry, man. And he said a few cuss words. I'm sorry, Pastor, man. I'm sorry. He started calling me Pastor. You could see that there's something happening. This wheel is spinning inside his head because he remembered. He goes, there's just no way. You know why? I remember you. We were both sitting here blind. We were both sitting here begging for help. We were both sitting here lost. And now you're walking with this Jesus. This is what this beggar's saying. Have mercy on me. Jesus says, hey, bring him up here. Then he says, what would you have me to do? What would you have me to do? Oh, that you would just give me sight. Just so that I could see, that you would give me sight. So the first miracle that happens here is Jesus healed him. And equally important to me is that with everything else going around, Jesus stopped for a man that no one had time for and was fully engaged in the moment. So let me ask you again. What if the greatest enemy to the life you want most is the very life you're living right now? Luke 19, 1 and 5. Now, after he entered through Jericho, he was passing through, and behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus. And he was the chief tax collector and was rich. I like how Luke is letting us know a couple things. First off, he's not just a tax collector. He is the chief tax collector. So not only, and if you don't know how the tax collectors work, the tax collectors go up there and they say, hey, Joe, you owe $100 for Rome. And on top of that, you owe me $25 so I can take your $100 to Rome. Oh, and you know what? Zacchaeus said he needs 15. So, yeah, I need $140 from you, sir. Wait, what? I just owe $100. No. You owe $140. That's how they did. This is what these guys would do. So this chief tax collector, and then Luke goes on to just so you can, so it's clear who he was, and he was rich. And he was seeking to see who Jesus was, but on account of the crowd, he could not, because he was small in stature. So he ran ahead and climbed up to a sycamore tree to see him, for he was about to pass that way. This is that story, y'all were in, Zacharias, he was a little man, climbed up in a sycamore tree just so he could see. This is that. And when Jesus came to the place, as he was passing by, he looked up and said, Zacchaeus, hurry and come down. I must stay at your house today. Now, I promise, when this was said, right there, even the guys, even his own men were like, bro, you got to be tripping. You know who this guy is, right? And everyone around was like, oh, come on, I thought you were Jesus. I thought you came to take over. What are you doing? Do you know who this guy is? He's not just a tax collector. He's the chief tax collector. And you want to go you want to go eat with this guy? There's no way. You can't do this. This can't happen. Frustrated and mad, probably upset with what's going on. And Jesus knew what was happening. So Jesus goes and he breaks bread with the guy and he's talking to him. And then you skip on down to verse 8. And Zacchaeus stood and said to the Lord, look, Lord, I give half of my goods to the poor. And if I have taken anything from anyone by false accusations, I'll restore it fourfold. And Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house. Why? Was it because Jesus just ate with the guy? No. It was because Jesus was in the moment. He was right in this guy's life. He went to where he was, knowing. Listen, don't think for 1 second Zacchaeus didn't know himself. It's not like he didn't know. It's not like he didn't know how everyone else viewed him and looked at him and thought about him. There was no way I handed $140 and didn't speak my mind. Trust me. I'm letting him know. He tells the kid what I said too. That's right. Don't let me catch you. Don't let me catch you on the street. Let it be known. Let him know I said that. You know what I mean? Month after month after month, paying extra and extra. So the first miracle here, and this one is, Jesus forgave him. He forgave him. And equally as important to me is that with everything else still going all around, Jesus stopped for the man that everyone hated and broke bread with him and was fully engaged in the moment. So again, what if the greatest enemy to the life you want most is the very life that you're living right now? I love that when Jesus enters Jericho, first he sees a blind man, a beggar. Then he sees this rich man, this rich tax collector, showing us that it doesn't matter what part of the spectrum you're on. It doesn't matter if you're high class, low class. It doesn't matter if you got money, don't got money. It doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what color of skin. None of that mattered. Jesus was engaged in the moment. I want my life to reflect this, and it doesn't matter who is in front of me, I'm in the moment with them. That I'm right there engaged with them. Which is what I've been praying. God, please help me to be so wrapped up in the moment. I want it to be this way. I want to be right where my feet are. I want to be right where my feet are. So if my feet are right here, I want to be here. If I'm standing in front of somebody and my feet are in front of them, I want to be right there. Not just in the big moments, not just in the happy moments, not in the most powerful moments, not in the meaningful moments, but in every single moment that I'm in, I want to be in. Because I have no idea what God is going to do in that moment. No matter what happens, I have no idea what's going to happen. I want to be in the moment, even when it's an annoying moment. Right? How many of y'all have annoying moments? Don't hit your partner right there. I saw. Don't do that. You have an annoying moments, and you're thinking, man. And so there was a moment, or there was a time, we don't have it this way anymore, but there was a time when we had all 5 kids in the house. And Ashley would be up there, she'd be on the saxophone, going at it, praying, and Jared and Elijah were just running across this cat, just hollering at each other, play this game, going back and forth, and Dallas is in there screaming because they wouldn't let him play the game, and the kid was running around on the front just getting into everything. And there was moments there where I was like trying to watch a show, and I'm thinking, oh my, please stop. I can't even see this show. I don't even know what's happening. And now, fast forward, a couple small blinks. The older ones are gone. Dallas will go up in his room, play a game. I don't even get to hear him. Kimber will go up in her room, and I don't get to hear her. I turn the TV on. Where I used to put it at 50 just to hear it, now I'm way down to 32, and I can still hear it. And I'd give anything to hear one run across the hall. It's gone like that. And I was wishing away moments that I'm begging for back right now. Tell them all the time when they come in, hey, want to watch a show? Begging for a moment. And we get so fast. Listen, we're complaining today about the very moments you're going to miss tomorrow. That's why he was, listen, this is why Jesus was in every moment. I promise one day we're going to get to sit there and talk to every one of these people that Jesus was with. The guys that were healed, the guys that legs grew, and the guys that were blind and could see, and lives were being raised from the dead. And what was it like when you were sitting there talking to Jesus? It was amazing because it was like I was the only one in the house. I was the only one on the field. Even though I was in a line with 1,000 other people behind me, when it was me in front of Jesus, I was the only one there. Because he was in the moment. We miss this. This is what he's calling us to be. Are you still with me? You still here? Remember, 47% of the time. Conversation with someone else. You're having dinner with somebody. How many times have you had, or you're sitting there talking to somebody, and this is just the worst. You're sitting there talking to somebody, and they just left. Even though you're sitting there finishing another sentence, they're looking right at you. They're not there. How many times you're sitting there talking to somebody, and they say something, and you go, you're not there. You're gone. Right? It's gone. And that moment is gone. Almost half of our walking life, and listen, if 47% of the time you're not there, that means half of your walking, everyday awake life, you're not where you actually are. Your mind is somewhere else. The studies have showed us that the biggest distraction to what takes away from us is our phone. Our phone pulls us in countless different directions. Let me be first to say that, listen, I get it. I understand. They did a study that said that Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, cat videos, recipes, YouTube, you name it. How many times have you been on the phone and you've gone through it and then you say, oh man, it's about 30 minutes that went by. Well, anybody? 30 minutes gone by? Or an hour? And the whole hour went by. I got to get going. I got to get up. Hour and a half, anybody? 2 hours? You don't even know it. All of a sudden, you just, boom, 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 you're gone. Gone. And 2 hours go by, and you're like, man, I got to hurry and get out of here. What am I doing? Been sitting here this whole time. And here's the true reality about that last 2 hours. You won't get them back. They're gone. The most precious commodity in all of this world. It's not gold. It's not money. It's not diamonds. It's time. It's priceless. And when it's gone, it is gone. You don't get to buy more. You don't get to go and purchase more. You can't go to the bank and borrow some. There's no loan to take out for some. it is gone. It is gone. So in the moment, be in the moment. They say that the average person, touches their phone 2,617 times a day. I know that sounds wild. When I read the site, I said, there's just no way. 2,617 times a day. That the average person, that's just the average, but the top 10% people touch it 5,112 times a day. Those are the ones that are just on it. Boom, boom, boom. That's 2 hours gone by. Boom, and you're checking emails and click. And listen, I'm not saying that you don't. If you work with a phone, I work with my phone. I use my phone for work. There are moments where I got to have my phone, but there are also moments where I get lost, and I'm out there chasing all kinds of rabbits. And one thing leads to another. This video leads to another one, and I'm sending it to somebody else, and then they're sending me back another video of that, and then I'm looking at that, and then that takes me on another chase, and all of a sudden now 45 minutes go by, and I'm thinking, man, I got to call so-and-so, right? It's gone. It's gone. Thousands of times a day. You are not with whatever or whoever that is right in front of you. So again, I'm going to ask, what if the greatest enemy to the life you want most is the very life you're living right now? If your mind runs like my mind runs, and my mind likes to play two games. The first game is the win-then game. I don't know if y'all play this game. This is a game I call it the win-then game. You know, this happens when I finish school, then I'm going to be happy. When I get home from work, then I'll be happy. When I get married, then I'll be happy. When I get a better job, then I'll be happy. When I have better kids, then I'll be happy. Right? When I get more kids, then I'll be happy. Right? When they actually grow up, then I'll be happy. Right? When I get a bigger house, then I'll be happy. When I retire, then I'll be happy. When, then. And we're literally going through life wishing away the very current moment we're in, thinking that the next moment is what's going to make me happy, and you're missing it all right here. Don't miss out. Listen, don't miss what you have now pursuing what you want later. And if I'm not playing the win-then game, I'm playing the what-if game. What if? What if I don't pass this test? What if I don't get a good education? What if I don't get a better job? What if I don't get a better wife? What if my kids don't get better? Right? What if my kids are always knuckleheads for the rest of their life? What if, and mine starts going further, what if aliens attack? You know, what if zombies do take over the world? And we're, that, right? That's not y'all, that's just me, right? Well, what if? What if, and all of a sudden my mind is just gone, and I'm somewhere else completely, and I'm not in the moment. We do this and we get lost chasing rabbits, and we miss the very moment that we're in. We miss the very moment we're in. How do I get this? How do I get it back, Pastor? What do I need to do? Listen, and for most of us, the wisdom for the stuff that you're wanting, listen, the wisdom that you need for most of the stuff you're going through right now is probably sitting in a book on your shelf right now. I had a guy one time tell me, I go up to him and I'm telling him, this has been years ago, and I'm telling him some stuff that's happened in my world. Man, I need this. I need help with this. And he was like, hey, where's that book I gave you? You ever read it? Yeah, I still got it. It's at the house. Did you ever read it, though? No. He said, everything you're talking about right now is in that book. I thought, it is? Yeah. I gave that to you a year and a half ago. If you'd have read it a year and a half ago, you might not be in this situation right now, Joe. So here's what I'm going to do, because I love you. We're not going to talk no more until you read the book. And then he just started walking backwards like I was leaving. I was like, what? Wait, hold up. Yeah. And he walked away. Like that. And most of us are asking for help, and we're like, God, I need this. God, I need that. And God's saying, hey, did you read the book I wrote you? I left you a book. Did you read it? Listen, I got everything you want, everything you need, all the answers are there. Did you read it? But what happens? Here's what happens. We're so quick to go Chat GPT, Google, and everybody else and say, hey, help me out, boom. I got this issue. What do I do here? Boom. What do I do there? 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 Right? And we're allowing some AI to be the liaison, be my in-between, be my go-to, be my middleman to God. What did God say here in this? What kind of fish was it that Jonah was, whatever that question, whatever you want to, whatever, instead of going here, we want to ask that, hey, AI, ask God for me. Boom. I'm not saying, listen, I'm not against any of that stuff. I'm just saying you're missing a moment. Listen, you're missing a real moment with God. And you're allowing this computer, this phone, this app that you have be your go-to. And you're missing what he wants most. That's time with you. He wants to spend time with you. Matthew 6:34 says, therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day in its own trouble. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't plan for the future. I'm saying we don't have to worry about that future. Let's be here in this moment. Are you still with me? You still with me? It's truly important to be in the moment. I believe that it comes down to our faith, or probably better worded, our lack of faith, is why we don't want to be in the moment. And I'll say it this way. When you're talking to somebody and you start going into your phone, or you start checking your watch, or your mind starts running out, you have lost faith in this conversation. Right? And your mind is already somewhere else. This guy's, he's obviously doesn't know what he's talking about, and I'm gone. I'm out. And your mind is somewhere else. And you've left the moment. You've left the moment. We're so worried about something that we did a long time ago, or something that's going to happen in the future that we have no control over. So listen, I wrote this: surrender the past that you can't change. Trust God with the future that you can't control. And be fully engaged in the present moment where you are. You can't change. Listen, if it already happened, it's already happened. You can't fix it. You can't do nothing about it. And you have no control over what's coming up. The only thing that you can do is be fully engaged in the moment you're in now. Fully engaged in the moment that you're in right now. He redeems the past. And because he's good, listen, because he's a good God, he takes care of the future. He's asking you to be fully engaged in the present. In James chapter 4, verse 13. It says, now listen, who you say, today or tomorrow you will go to this city, spend a year there, carry on business and make money. Why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a vapor that appears here for a little while and then vanishes. Your life is just a vapor. It's here for a moment and then it's gone. Just like that. Gone. Our lives are gone so quickly. And if we don't engage in the moments that we have, we will miss out on what real life is. Each moment does something to someone, good, bad, happy. Listen, each moment that you engage with somebody, it'll make them smile. It might change their life. It might change who they are. It might encourage them. It might stop them from doing something crazy. It might help them make a major decision. It might lead someone through a valley, show someone a better way, give someone hope for their life, push someone to make a difference, guide someone out of the darkness, instruct someone to build. Every moment that we fully engage does something to someone, if not to ourselves. Psalms 118:24. This is the day Not tomorrow, not yesterday. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. You know what this basically means is you were made for this day, and this day was made for you. Hear me. You were made for this day, and this day was made for you. You can't be happy where you're not. You can't serve Jesus where you're not. You can't help people where you're not. You can't have a better marriage if you're not in it. You can't have better friends if you're not in it. You can't have better conversations if you're not in it. You can't have real moments if you're not in them. Listen, people that are around us are not interruptions. They're not inconveniences. They're moments of opportunities that allow us to see who God was. Of all the people that we talk about that were in moments, Jesus, in his whole life, there was a time, if any time, he could have said, "Man, I'm not worried about nobody else right now but me," when he was hanging on that cross. I mean, listen, we're talking about the sinless Son of God who was beat, who was brutally beat. Where they took, and I've told you, they took cat o' nine tails with this whip that had pieces of chipped bones and glass and rock, and they took his skin and they would just rip the back down. The reason they did this, the reason they opened up his back, because when they hung you up and dropped you down, in order for you to breathe, you can't do it this way. He had to raise himself up, just scratching himself up on the wood, this open wounds. So in the middle of this, being beaten, brutal, and Isaiah said that he was beat where you didn't even recognize who he was. So this pile of flesh is on this cross, and at this moment, he had the right, if he wanted, to say, "I'm not worried about nobody else but me right now. I'm taking on the sins of everyone here." And what does he do? What does he do? There's these two jokers on the right and left, and one saying, "Man, what are you doing? Get us down here. What's going on?" And the other guy says, "Hey, man, I know why we're here. We did wrong. We deserve what's happening. This guy here didn't do nothing." Jesus, when you get to heaven, will you remember me? And then Jesus, fully engaged in the moment. As of this day, you're already with me in paradise. The sins of the world on his back. And everything paused so he could look at this man and say, "I got you. I got you." Fully engaged in the moment. Fully engaged in the moment. Because you can't be happy where you're not. You can't love people where you're not.